Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is T. I am a full-time screen printer and a part-time van lifer who is building out my own van. Okay, guys, I'm not a professional. I'm just doing what I'm seeing being done and kind of adding my twist to it, guys. So welcome. I hope everybody's blessed. So guys, what I decided to do, because I did not tape the video, or I didn't make a video while I was actually framing the van out on a step by step. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the steps that I did to show you what I did. I'll even show you how to do the pocket hole, and I'll show you. It was very simple, guys. It was time consuming, and at best, that's what it was, time consuming. Because it's really easy. Because like if I can do it, I know for a fact that you can do it. Just say it. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start showing you. I'm gonna walk into the van and I'm going to show you what I have, and then I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, guys, here we are. So we're going to start right here because I started with that wall first. Guys, what I did is I used 1x4s. I know a lot of people are saying it's overkill. There's going to be a lot of naysayers of what you do, but whatever you decide to do for your van is what you decide to do with your van. And I'll keep saying that until I'm blue in the face because it's your van. You do what's best for your build. Now, what I'm doing is I am keeping in mind the weight of my build. Obviously, I want the gas to take me as far as I want it to take me. And so I'm being very conscientious about that. Okay. So I did use, let's hold up. Let's start here. Let's start with the fairings up here. That's a 1/4 inch plywood. Okay. And as you can see, I used I used the self-tapping stainless steel screws with a dab of construction adhesive. Just put a dab there. Wherever there's a screw, there's a dab of construction adhesive, which is this right here, guys. That's what I used. Okay. Now, in joining all of my work here, I also used wood glue. Okay. So I used the wood glue, and if there's a screw in it into the metal, which yes, I did go through the metal to adhere it, I used a dab of, like I said, the construction adhesive. But if it was just a joint here, I did not use that. I only used the wood glue for that and the screws that to adhere it to there on the pocket holes. Okay, so I did these. I have one more to put in here, guys, and I'm going to, so that when I put my beadboard up here, which is this what I'm using, my beadboard. It's lightweight. Okay, and I need to build something out here where this will continue and attach to this. A lot of people go under here. I don't want to go under there. I would rather just make a piece here and then adhere it that way. I'm leaving these. I'm not going to take those out. Apparently, it's something to do with the airbags, and really, honestly, they're not bothering me. So I'm going to leave them be. So if you want to remove them, that's on you. I'm leaving them. So guys, also for this wire here, as you can see, it goes all the way to there. On that side, it's inside. Why they did that, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a reason for everything, but for a van builder, it's a nuisance. So what I did is I just left that. See this part right here? This is good. I'm going to take this out like this, and I'm going to put it there, and the wall is going to come out that way. So it's going to be tucked behind that. Not only that, my cabinets are going here, so I'll be able to also tuck it back there. All right, so I did this first, guys. It took a second. I ripped a sheet of plywood across, and I measured whatever that measurement is, and I sliced it. I ripped it on that saw right there. Okay, and I pre-drilled the holes. I have to fix this one I just saw. So what you want them to be in like this, to be recessed in there. So I have a drill bit that you drill. This one right here. Let me show you. It's this right here. So this drill bit will drill past where you need. You don't want to go all the way down because then you're going to go through and your screw's not going to have anything to hold on to as far as the wood is concerned. Oh, Mr. B. Oh, he went in and out. Okay. So that's what you want, guys. Okay. And it's very simple. I went through the metal. Yes, I did. Now, there are pieces of metal, places like this. Okay. See how it's doubled up right here? You're not going to get through this part right here because that's doubled up. So as you can see, I tried. It would not go. It wouldn't go here. I think it went in there, but by the time I got through, it kept just spinning. So I did another one. Okay. So you're going to have to figure it out on your van because every van is different. But if it's thicker, I couldn't get through there. And I mean, I put all of my weight in there, all my juiciness, I put it in there and I couldn't get through. So I went to another spot. Okay. That's how I did it. All right. So I got those up. And the next thing I did is I did this wall here. Now, most people piece these in two. I did one hole because I had bought the long pieces along there. So I just measured from there to there. And I knew that my side braces were going to fit in between those. So I just measured accordingly. And then I did the pocket holes. And you can see this is where I started with pocket holes. I'm not perfect, but when I got done, I had that down. Okay. So I like the way it looks. It's sturdy. And on these, again, I did put a dab of the construction adhesive just for extra. Now, I didn't frame this out because a lot of people frame theirs out because I want the extra space. So I'm going to build a box that sits in there, and it's just going to give me about 2 or 3 inches on either end. Now I fit, okay, without that, but I want that extra space because I could do a shelf or something, you know. So I'm going to do that on both sides. That's why I did it that way. So I started with these right here. Okay, I started with those first. So I did 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, same thing. Cut it to size. I pre-drilled those holes with the bit. I pre-drilled them so that everything's done. If you do it that way, listen, it goes bam, 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 bam. You get through it. Okay, so that's what I did with that. And then I again, wherever there's a screw, I put a dab of construction adhesive, and it listen. That's what I have on my floor, and when I let it dry overnight, you couldn't pull it up even if you tried. So may not work for others, but it worked for me, and that's what I did. So with that being said, do it your way. Okay. So I did those 4 first, went across, and then I started cutting these to size, whatever size that is. And then the little braces. Okay. Simple. Pardon me, simple. Also, over here for my window, this is not going to stay there. I thought I was going to do that, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to build a box here, and I'm going to build it out that way. And I may get into that today. I'm not sure, but I will film that for you. Okay. So that's what I did. And then obviously I just repeated what I did there on that side as well. It did come out looking nice. Obviously at the bottom, you're going to have to leave. I think I left a 1/4 inch down there so that, make sure you're seeing that, because sometimes I'm seeing it and you're not because I'm just not doing it correctly. You see the space under there, and that's, guys, so that my vinyl will fit. And those are just choices that I have right now because I'm going to do a full sheet of the vinyl. Okay, so you want to be able to do that. I think that's going to be my next step. I'm not sure. I'm also going to install the Max Air Fan here, right here on this square here, and then I'll probably do another one back here if it fits. If not, I'm going to do another one here. And I'm just going to stick with those 2 for now. Like I said, I have a floor AC, so I'll be using that for my AC if I need it. I'm going to show you how. Okay, guys, I'm just going to hold you and then I'll put you down and try to. So this is what I used, 1/4 inch for the fairings on top. Okay. And then I use this with, I think this is a 1x4. It's a 1x4, and I used pretty much all of it. It actually took me, I think I want to say in total I bought like 10 or 11, and that got me through my build. Okay, so I do have some other wood here that I was going to use for framing. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but this is the deal, guys. So this is how you pocket screw. Okay, so you get this, and bear with me, guys. Okay, let me get these 2. I know it's a lot, guys. I know it's a lot. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to brace this down. So I have this. These are the best things since sliced bread or cheese or however y'all say it. And my probably tortillas, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to adhere it there, okay? So it doesn't move, okay? And then you take your pocket hole jig, and I placed it right here where you see 1.5 inches open at the bottom. That's where I have it set, and you set it just like that. Okay, And then you're going to take this one. I'm going to see if I can do this without putting you down again. Okay. So then you take this one. You don't want to cover that hole. You don't want to cover this hole because that's where the shavings come out. Okay. You just line it up as best you can. And then you want to tighten this up about right there. Okay. So I'm going to tighten that up. Guys, I hope it doesn't move. So this is the drill that comes with it. Okay. And then you can actually, I don't know if you can see that. It has 1.5, a half, and I'm on 3/4, which that's where I'm going to keep it. Guys, I typically hold it, but since I only have one hand, I'm just going to see if it'll do it. You just want to slide it in there, okay? And then you're going to do it quick. If it doesn't work, we'll try it again, okay? Okay. It's typically not that hard because I'm holding it in the back and it slides right in and it slides right out. So let me do that real quick. Hold on. Okay, here we are. So I did it again. Just to take these off. You just push this, take it off. You take this off. And there you go. There you have it. Okay? There you have it. So then your screw, when you go to put it on your, you try to put them together, say like that, you take your screw and your screw will sit inside of that. And then you just drill. They give you this drill bit here, which is long, and you're able just to put it in there. That's simple. Very simple. What else did I use? Of course, I used this to cut, you're going to need something to cut it down with. And this is what I have. I've had it for years. I do have quite a few tools, and I know that some people don't have them. So I'm lucky in that manner that I just collect tools. So I'm not a carpenter. I'm not certified in anything. I just like to do stuff. And that's why I have it. So guys, that's how I did it. I know it's easier watching someone do it. I know that I learn by, I'm a visual learner. So I hope that at least it helps you a little bit. It's very simple. Like I said, I just did those first. And then I started measuring each one of these little things here. You measure them, and you always, like this one right here was a little tricky. You can see I had to do it here to adhere to here. And then I had to do it here, coming this way and that way, because the drill will fit in there. You might have to change your bit length because that long one won't allow you to go this way, I don't think. I think it was too long, or maybe it was going up. I think it was going up and on this side where there's something there. So you have to change that bit to push it in. But I mean, this is my short plug, guys, and this come in handy. I had to use a fan while I was doing this, and it was perfect. I plugged it in, and my short plug let me have a fan in there blowing while I was doing it. And guys, that's what I did on that side too. So guys, I'm telling you, I just felt like, I felt bad that I didn't do it step by step, but setting up a camera and doing that and being a novice and green about doing something like this, I just wanted to make sure that I did it and it was, a good sturdy build. I did drive around with it. There are no squeaks. If you drive around after you're done framing and it squeaks, come back and find that squeak. Try to listen where it's at and then go back, and maybe your screw isn't in there all the way, or maybe you have to put another one in there and put some adhesive in behind it. So maybe that's what helped me. I don't know, but I did do it as best and tight as I could. I did run into some of those areas where there was a double where there's metal upon metal, which makes it a lot harder for that self-tapping screw to go through, but I just found another spot. And there are times when I couldn't put one there, but it was solid enough that I was comfortable and not doing it there. But I think it was just one or two places that were minimal. And guys, I have news about that leak. We had a monsoon come through here yesterday, and I had decided that, well, I had already troubleshooted the leak, which was in that corner over there, which I've showed y'all before, where that cobalt mat is. And that's, by the way, if you got bad knees, that's your best friend. I'm telling you, go get 1, 2, 3, or 4. They are worth it. You can get on your knees, because, I mean, who wants to get on this stuff on your knees? Not me. So, anywho, over there in that corner, right by it, is where that leak was. And guys, what I did is I sealed, I think it was coming from the molding. Now, I did order some, I think it's like It's like a stopper that you put in there, and I know there's a proper name for it, but right now I can't think of it. Y'all, it's hot. Hot. Okay? Hot. So, anywho, so I can't think straight. That's what I'm trying to say. Anywho, I went through the seam. I'm going to show you. I'll walk around here and show you. So what I did, and I'll clean this up later, because that's from there. So I believe it was coming through here, because that's exactly where it's leaking. But I wasn't sure that that was the only one. And I did it all the way up to this, just to the end of this molding. Now that stuff that I ordered, it's a gasket. It's a gasket. It pushes into there, but you're supposed to put, I did clear, obviously. Supposed to put caulking in it and then put it in there and cut it off. And I may or may not do it. I'm not sure. I probably should, just because you don't want that seal to break and then you done, put your insulation and your walls up and then you have a problem. And then you have a mold problem. So I don't know. But anyway, I did go ahead and I did that as well. Just up there on the roof. I did it just on that section because I wasn't sure. Now, there was nothing dripping down from up there, but I just wanted to make sure. So it's clear. Nobody's going to see that. I know it's there, but it's not bothering me because it's clear. So that was the deal, guys. I went through there and I opened up the gas thing here. It wasn't that. And then I looked in there and that was open. It was wide open. I took this off because obviously there's a seam like that right here. And I took this off right here, this one, and I was able to get the seam as well. So I mean, it's pretty, it's in there. But guys, when I tell you that it stormed, okay? It came down. I thought I was gonna have to build an ark, but anyway, I came out. It even hailed, guys, in Florida. So I came out the first time because there was a little break in between, and I came out the first time and I looked and I said, I know there's gonna be a pool of water, bone dry. Bone dry. You hear me? That's excitement coming from me. So I said, okay, all right, okay, we got this. So I went inside, and guess what happened? It came down again. I thought I saw the archangels and everything. It was bad. Guys, I waited. It was on my mind. It was like midnight, and I said, let me get my flashlight, and let me go out there, and let me check it out. And guys, I did. And guess what? Bone dry. So we got it. We got it, guys. We got it. So that makes me feel good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave like a foot of insulation. I'm going to start it up from there. Just because now, that's the only place it ever leaked. I looked around again. It's ever only leaked right there. So I'm going to leave like a foot above that. And I'm going to probably either screw or do like a nail in it. And if I had to, I could take it out, okay, to check and see. But it's always going to be on my mind because it was there. So I'm going to let it rain and rain. Yes, I use the water hose, but when it's raining, it's different. It comes down different, and it rained hard. And rainy season is in July, so I'll know then too. So I don't believe that I'll be insulated and walled up by then. At least I don't think so. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, guys, it was bone dry. So yes, guys, that's how you do it. That's how you frame. Let me get back over here, guys. Hold on 1 second. Give me a minute. All right, guys. So I basically just walked you through it. That's all there is to it. I promise you. Measure your boards going across. Cut them to size. Where you're gonna put them, okay? And if you just look at my pictures or look at the video, you just look at where the placement is, you can follow that. Guess what I did? I did exactly the same thing. I found a video. They were doing a Ford Transit 250, which is mine. Find yours or just follow this one because I'm telling you, they are basically the same. There's some that are bigger. Some people went with less braces. I'm about braces. That's just me, okay? We're all gonna do things differently, guys. But I did the ones across first. And I did one side at a time. I didn't do them all across. You can if you want to, but I did it this way. I put them all across. There's one, how many boards? One, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna need 5 across, okay? That's what I did because I used where I could mount them at. And that's how that person used them. So I did exactly what, I copied it, okay? I mirrored it. And then from there is where you're gonna put your braces that go down. which obviously mine would be, if I would, the back end would be window, I put them there. And like I said, I'm going to box that out for more room and to put a little shelf and maybe some lights on the sides, because that's the bed area. Okay. And then where my window is, I'm also going to do a box, but I'm going to try to design a little rack on the top, guys, for my spices, because remember, my kitchenette is going to be right there, right by that window where there's a breeze, and where when you're cooking, it's not going to, you know, it can go outside, and your max air fan running, it's going to be beautiful. So I'm going to box that out. I'm going to try to build the insert for the spice rack, and then that'll be done. I just have to frame that one. Now remember, the window across from it that came with the van, that little window that pops out, it doesn't slide, it pops out. It's unattached on the top. So I have to figure out if I'm going to have to replace the entire window, or if I could take it to a window place and have them put whatever they use, because I don't know what they use. I think the person used probably like a hot glue gun or something, which we know that's not going to hold. But he did a good job, because I didn't see it when I bought it. But it's okay, it's okay. That's my new, something that I can probably do myself. Okay, so I'm not going to, you know. I'm telling you, that van inside, he was the only owner, and he was a courier. And it is, guys, when I tell you that van looked brand new inside, it looked brand. I felt bad putting a screw in there. And I know some people don't, but a lot of people do, and I did. So that's how I did it. You don't have to do it that way. There's going to be a lot of people telling you what you should, could, and do, and all that. Psst, do it your way. I did it mine. So with that being said, let me insert this as well, okay? Hold on. And showed me